What is going on YouTube? Welcome back to my channel, Eternal Sora. It is your boy Eternal Sora, also known as Zed, back with another video. Today we are doing the support tier list. I know in my last tier list video I said I was gonna do the jungle next, but I've decided against that. I want to save the jungle for last because I think there'll be a lot to talk about with that one. So today we're doing the support tier list. If you've been enjoying these tier list videos, please make sure to subscribe and leave a like. I really appreciate it. And with that being said, let us get into the video. Okay, so there's not too many supports. We've got how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that's good enough actually. Starting off with Dekker. Dekker's been around for the longest. One of the classic supports in the game. Her kit's changed a bit over the years. I think she's a really good support. She got a slow, stun, and a cage, which is really good. The cage can really put people in a bad situation. You know, characters like Sparrow, if they don't have their flash, there's not really much he can do once he's in that cage. Yeah, Bellica, she misses her knockup, things like that. You know, characters that don't have any movement or teleports or anything like that. She can really put them in a sticky situation, and her ultimate is really good as well. Stuns in a wide range. If you know she misses the stun bit, it can still slow. So yes, it is pretty strong. Also, she does some decent damage as a support. Yep, you can build her with damage, which makes it easier for the carry to land the finishing blows. So yeah, she's quite annoying. She also has a jump that, you know, her double jump, which can get out of sticky situations. She's very all round. I think she is a meta pick for sure, definitely 100%. I see her in almost all games, not all games, but a lot of the games she is picked as the support. The only issue with Dekker is she's not tanky. She's not a tank, and there may be times where you need a tank on the team, and if someone picks Dekker, it can leave your team pretty squishy. So that is the biggest downside I would say to her, is that she's not too tanky. But yeah, aside from that, she is solid. Definitely a strong support. Next up, we have Mourn. Mourn. He is really good. This guy is extremely tanky. I think he might be the most tanky support, you know, honestly. Like, I just noticed, like, when you hit him, he just... It seems like you never do that much damage to him. I don't know what it is. Yeah, he is very strong. He's got a vine that will hook people, similar to Riktor's hook, which is really good. And then he's got this new mechanic that's been introduced, which is called... I forgot the name of it. I'll put the name of it up. But basically, it causes the opponent to walk in the opposite direction that they were walking in, basically. So yes, he can bring people closer to him, which will put people in a bad situation. You know, they're trying to run to the tower or something, and then he uses that ability. He can pull you out of the tower, which is really good, and then use his vine. He has another ability that heals the team, or heals nearby allies whilst doing damage. He reminds me of, actually, with all that hive stuff that he has, it reminds me of Shino from Naruto. I don't know if any of you guys have ever played the Naruto games, but Shino would throw out balls of bugs and shit. Yeah, it reminds me of that for sure. But yeah, Mourn, he's very strong, very strong. No stuns, no stuns, but I think the hook is good enough, to be honest. Um, I don't think it has as much range as Riktor's hook, though. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think it has as much range. But overall, he is a solid support. Oh, I almost forgot to talk about his ultimate. His ultimate, in my opinion, is really strong. Really strong. Can get people out of a sticky situation and put the enemy team in a sticky situation. His ultimate blinds everyone on the entire map. Of course, they can see the enemy if they're super close, but if they're not super close to the enemy, then they will not be able to see you. So, yeah, that is very strong because it can arrange for some really good ganks, team fights, leave people who are trying to escape, make them go the wrong direction or walking into walls or something. So, yeah, Mourn, he is he is definitely a meta pick, I would say, for sure. I see him quite often as well. I don't think he's. Ooh, I don't know if he's as good as Dekker. I don't know if he's as good as Dekker or stronger than Dekker. I think he is. I think he is. Whoops. Simply because he's so tanky and he still has CC. And he can do some decent damage. Not crazy damage. Dekker still does more damage than him, but he can, just do enough damage to where it becomes annoying. Over time, the little hive thing that he shoots at you chips away at your health. So, yeah, that can be quite annoying, the poke damage. And his basic attack does quite a bit of damage as well. So, yeah, I'm going to put him above Dekker simply because he's so tanky as well, which makes for, a good front line for your team. Next up, we have Muriel, another classic. Been in the game for how long? Since inception, I think. Muriel. She's a weird one because she has no real CC. I mean, she has the slow, which, it's like soft CC. It's not a stun or a root or anything like that. But it is good because it allows the enemy, your carry to do more damage. If she lands her slow, the carry will do more damage to that target, which is really good. Of course, not to mention her shields. She is obviously, that is how she supports with her shields. Her shields are pretty good, she's got the one that, you can throw out and the range on that is super far. You can throw that super far. Gives the teammate a speed boost, a movement speed boost, and an attack speed boost, which is really nice, especially for characters like Sparrow, Kira. Yep, 100%. Even Grim, I think, yeah, she works well with Grim as well because they both do damage via magic. So, yes, I think she's. The only thing with Muriel is I feel like her protection isn't enough. Characters can burst through her shields pretty, I'll say somewhat easily. Not super easily, but they can burst through her shields. She has an ultimate. Oh my gosh, her ultimate. I think that's got to be the best thing about Muriel. Her ultimate is so good. Honestly, anywhere in the map she can fly to them, shields them, and knocks up whoever's in that area, which is really, really great for team fights. Imagine a steel ultimate, but the team has been, the target has been shielded. So you're about to finish the character off, and then bam, in comes the shield, you're getting knocked up, and all of a sudden it's a reverse sweep. So yeah, that is something she's really good for sure. But I have seen times where she does her ultimate and the character ends up dying anyway, because like I said, they burst through the shields, and then she's landed in a situation where it's about 3 2-3 people, enemies, and it's just her. She's trying to escape. So that happens with Muriel a lot. You really have to know when is the right time to actually use your ultimate, because it can put her in a sticky situation, and instead of it being one person dying, it's now 2 people dying, and that is not helpful for the team. Another thing is, when she gets her ultimate, she's supposed to be supporting the carry, right? But she can use her ultimate for anyone on the team, which I've seen this happen so many times. She uses her ultimate for maybe the mid laner or the off laner or the jungler, and she's left the carry stranded. The carry is just standing there, you know, with no support, and the enemy team now collapses on the carry. So yeah, you really need to know what you're doing with Muriel. You want to focus your protection on the carry, whilst helping out the team where you can, not, you know, all the time trying to help every single person. That's something with Muriel. You have to remember, you can't save everybody. You can't save everybody. So yeah, it's tough. It's tough. It really depends on the player. I do think she's good. You know, she does help the team do a lot more damage with her shields and whatnot. But she is not a pick up and go kind of support. I don't think she's as strong as the others at all. So I am going to put Muriel. It really takes an experienced player to make her work well. So I'm going to put her at all-rounder. In fact, I'm going to put her average at best, actually. I know, I'm going to be harsh today. I'm going to put her average at best, simply because she doesn't have much CC. I have seen Muriels do well, but I've seen a lot of times where she just puts herself in sticky situations, put her carry in sticky situations, and people just burst through her shields. The thing is, she's not tanky either. So with all those shields that she's doing and whatnot, she isn't tanky. She can do good damage if you decide to build with damage. But I don't know, man. It really depends. I think she works well with someone, like if you're doing a duo with somebody. Aside from that, though, it's tough. It's tough. I'm gonna leave her average at best for now, because there's someone else I think belongs in all rounders, and that is my boy Narbash. Let me just put him right there. Narbash. I really like Narbash. I think he is really good. He's got a good kit. He can stun. The movement speed boost is really good. You know, he can boost the speed of the entire team if they're all close by. He has an AoE heal, which heals anyone in the area, which is really good. And his ultimate, you know, does a bit of damage and then knocks up for the final hit, slows them down, which again is really good as well for team fights. The only problem with Narbash, I think, is once he's used his stun, he's not really doing much else, you know. He's like a meat shield, but there's other characters I think are better at being meat shields. Of course, you know, sustains the team with his heal, but if characters buy anti-heal, which as soon as you see Narbash, people will probably buy anti-heal, then his heals aren't going to be as effective. You really, yeah, like I said, you really have to time your stun well. You know, you need to know the right time to use your stun, to use your ultimate. Yeah, he is good. I like him a lot personally, but I wouldn't call him a meta pick. I don't see him all the time. I see him every now and then. I've actually been playing a bit of Narbash recently. Maybe I'll put up some gameplay of me playing Narbash whilst talking about him. But yeah, it's tough, man. He's not super effective. He's not as effective as Dekker or Mourn. Yeah, a lot of times people can just ignore him because his basic attack, it does a bit of damage, but it's not doing any crazy damage. His attack speed is super slow. And yeah, I mean, once he's used his ultimate and his stun, that's pretty much it. He's just there to, provide some speed boost, some heals. That's about it. But yeah, again, with Narbash, you have to know what you're doing when you're using him. Definitely, and that is why I'm placing him at all rounders, because he has, stun, he has knock up, heals, and movement speed. I think that's deserving of all rounders. Alright, next up we have Rampage. No, just kidding, just kidding. We'll leave Rampage for the jungle. I know I've seen people play him as support. He does pretty decent, his rock is pretty strong. But we're not gonna talk about him as a support today. Next up we have FaZe. Oh, FaZe. FaZe is very annoying. Me personally, I really dislike FaZe. Not on the enemy team, I dislike FaZe when she's on my team. Because she, unless you know the person you're playing with and you're communicating with each other, it's hard to know. Like, the FaZe might pull you into a sticky situation, or they might think you're about to die when you're trying to get a kill, and then they'll pull you out early, so you end up not getting the kill. It is annoying. I can't lie. She's annoying to play with. I never do well when I play with FaZe. Honestly, never ever do well when I play with FaZe, because they just don't see the vision. You know what I mean? They don't have the same plan that you have in your head, innit? So that being the case, they're gonna do what they think is best in that situation, whereas you could be thinking about something totally different that's best in your situation, right? Her kit is good though, don't get me wrong. She has a root that slows, and once you land a certain amount of hits, then it will root. The flash is very good. The blinding thing, yep, that's very good. It's similar to like Mourn's ultimate, but on a micro scale. And yeah, it can really mess up with people. Like, they don't know where you are, where you're going, or what's happening. And then she has her pool, which tied with her ultimate is a super combo. She is mainly paired with Sparrow. I think her and Sparrow work best together with the ultimate. With her ultimate, Sparrow's basic attacks go crazy. And she has, I don't know why they gave this to FaZe. Well, I kind of do. She can get out of a situation and pull your teammate with her flash. She has a flash that's on like a super short cooldown or something, so she can flash like 2-3 times or something like that. I actually don't know what it is exactly, but I just know that she's able to flash quite quickly, more quickly than any other character in the game. She's not tanky. She has one CC ability, which can be dodged quite easily. If you go behind a wall or something, she misses her hits, then yeah, she's basically not gonna land the root. And like I said, I think how good she is depends on the combination you have with your duo. I mean, with your carry. If you are not like, super in sync with your carry, then she can be very annoying. And, especially when you get players that, you get some phases that feel like the game is losing or they're not winning, and then they start trolling, and they'll pull you into bad situations on purpose to get you killed. That's why I don't like FaZe. That is why I don't like her, because she can manipulate too much, and I don't like that. Just let the player do their own thing, kind of thing. But she is pretty good, but I'm gonna put her average at best. I'm not gonna lie. She used to dominate back in the day when she first came out. She was really strong. Her kit was unique. It is unique. I don't think she's stronger than Muriel. Again, she is strong, but it really depends on the coordination. It really depends on the coordination. I'm simply putting her average at best because I just don't like her. I do not like her. So yeah, she is going there. Alright, next up we have Riktor. Jeez. Riktor is why we all know Riktor, right? We all know Riktor. And we know that Riktor's, like, how good he is depends on how good the player is at landing their hooks. I've played with some guys that's been, oh my gosh, they land every single hook and it is disgusting. Once he lands your hook, there's nothing you can really do. When I play as a carry, when Riktor lands his hook, it's pretty much immediate death for the enemy. So yeah, Riktor is amazing. He is amazing. I think even if, let's say you land 50% of your hooks, even 30% of your hooks, he still has a pretty good kit. You know, he has the silence, which is really good. You know, can stop characters from using their flash or teleporting or any, movement based abilities. You can take people out of their ultimate. I've seen Riktor's silence and take Gideon out of his ultimate, Kira out of her ultimate, things like that. It's a really good ability. And then his ultimate stuns, depending on how many people are in the radius, he can stun, he can stun the whole team if they're all close enough. But typically he'll stun about 1 to 2 people, maybe 3. And then he can hook them, or he will hook them and then use his ultimate. Yeah, he is really good. He can dominate the lane. If he's able to land his hooks consistently, he can really dominate the lane. He can put people in bad positions just by threatening to use his hook. Like, it will make people run in certain directions, trying to avoid it, which ultimately can put them in a bad situation. Everyone knows the hook, everyone's afraid of the hook, but if they've seen that you're not able to land your hook properly, they will walk all over you. So yeah, you really have to be good at landing your hook. But when he is good at landing his hook, when the player is good at landing their hook, he is by far, in my opinion, the best support in the game. And that is why Riktor is going in must pick or ban. I know he doesn't get banned. He gets banned. I've seen people ban him like a couple times, but he doesn't get banned consistently. But he gets picked often. He is definitely one of the top picked supports in the game for sure. And it is easily understandable why. That hook is dangerous. Dangerous. Okay, next up we have Steel. Hey, Steel is fantastic. He is great. He's got an amazing kit. No ability is useless. He's got his charging ability, which can knock people out the way, put them in a bad position, and then his shoulder bash, which stuns. Although it's a short stun, it is still good enough for for other teammates to do some damage on that target. So yeah, Still's really good. Not to mention his ultimate. His ultimate is great in team fights, especially when they're all huddled around the objective, or Prime or Fangtooth. He can come in, use his ultimate, and knock up the whole team. And it's just curtains. It is curtains. Also, he's got the shield thing. The barrier to stop projectiles from going through, which is really good. It slows people when they walk through it, does a little bit of damage too. Really good. Still, we all know about Still. Still super tanky as well. He can take a lot of hits, so he's a good front line. Yeah, he's a brute, man. He is a brute. He just charges in, stunning people, causing chaos. Yeah, he is definitely good. I don't have too much to say about Steel because we all know Steel. We all know how he does. I think, in my opinion, Riktor's the best support in the game on the condition that the person is able to land their hooks But if they're not able to land their hooks, Steel becomes the best support in the game, for sure. So that is why I'm gonna put Steel. Where am I gonna put Steel? I'm actually gonna put him at the top of meta pick. Yeah, at the top of meta pick of all supports, just underneath Riktor. Simply because I think Riktor's more impactful than Steel. I do think that only if the person is able to land their hooks, because the hooks is what makes Riktor insane to deal with. Yeah, I'm gonna put Steel there. Let me know if you guys agree, guys. Let me know if you guys agree or if you think he should be must pick or ban. The thing is, he is picked. He is picked quite often, almost all the time, but never banned. I never see him banned at all. He can be played in off lane, but yeah, we won't really talk about that. We'll just talk about him as a support. So yeah, I'm gonna leave him in meta pick. Alright, last but not least, or maybe is least, is Zinx. I don't know what happened to Zinx, boy. She had a serious fall from grace. She used to be like the strongest support in the game, honestly. And now she's just so weak. She is so weak. I don't know what it is like. I don't even think her kit is bad. You guys can tell me what the nerfs have been to her kit, to why she's not being used as much. Like, I don't ever see anyone playing her. Just once or twice here and there, but that is it. And whenever they do, it just does not end up well for them. She has a stun. Her kit on paper is really good, for sure. On paper, stun, slow. She can heal. Her ultimate, revives people. But I think what it was is because she was new, people weren't really used to her when she first came out. They weren't used to dealing with her ultimate and stuff like that. But now she's been in the game for long enough. People know how she works. It's like, yeah, like she's just not that impactful. Her ultimate, more time, people focus her so that she ends up using her ultimate on herself, and then they will just go for the carry, and the carry will just be left for dead pretty much, because you come back with like 30% health or something like that, and it's not enough to survive. It's not enough to survive. The burst in this game, like, you can die so quickly, especially when there's like 2 or 3 characters collapsing on you. It can really end badly for you. So yeah, I think the fact that for example, Murdoch, he can put one of his traps right where the person is reviving and they're automatically stunned. It's just not good. It's almost like they get stunned upon revival every single time, and then they just get bursted down and deaded. So yeah, her ultimate used to be so annoying. You're focusing a target and then they revive, and now you're getting stunned, and then it was a reversal. But it just don't work out like that no more these days. People either wait for the timer to go down before they kill the person, or they just set up hella traps, stuns or whatnot for when that person does revive. So yeah, she used to be really good, but honestly, I actually think she might be the weakest support in the game right now. Her heal is not super strong. Anti-heal is like, everyone buys anti-heal, so her heal's not doing crazy heals or anything. So yeah, I don't know, man. I'm gonna put, boy, we got our first character that's in pretty weak. That is crazy. I'm being harsh today. I am being harsh today. Yeah, she's pretty weak, man. That is a shame. She's got on paper, her kit is better than Phases, in my opinion. Or like, yeah, better than Phases, I think. But it's just, in practice, it's a whole different story. She's just not that impactful. That's why she doesn't get picked. But yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it at that. We have our first pretty week in this entire tier list series, which is crazy. Yeah, Riktor definitely belongs up there. I would put still there if I had started with support. If my first tier list video was a support tier list, he would be right here at the top, just so that you know. But I'm putting him here just so you know he's at the top of supports in meta pick. But yeah, let me know, guys, if you agree with my opinion. Let me know your opinion. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. Wherever you may be, have a good day, take care, and peace.